possibly the greatest thing that Riot Games ever created was the Poro. Poros are pretty much the crowning magnum opus, the crowning achievement of Riot Games, and I think that's a statement that's pretty hard to argue. Ever since this cute ball of fluff was put into League of Legends and the League of Legends universe, Riot has kind of been shoehorning them into everything that they make, whether it be game modes or merchandise or Legends of Runeterra, where we obviously have this cute Poro companion that we can use, who sits by our side every time that, we're playing matches. But on top of that, it just kind of made sense that Riot would also make some Poro cards. Currently, at the time of recording this video, there are a number of Poro cards in Legends of Runeterra. There are what looks to be 11 if you want to include Braum as a Poro card. But it's kind of fun. There's this fun little, it's like Murlocs in Hearthstone or something. It's this fun little cute thing that you can run a cheesy sort of goofy deck with. However, what's sad about it is it sucks. Now, most of the Poros were put into the Freljord region along with Braum, where it synergizes fairly well with itself, right? There's the Heart of the Fluff, there's the Poro Herder, there's the Mighty Poro, the Lonely Poro. There's a lot of cool stuff in the Freljord tree for Poros, including, of course, Poro Snacks, a card that is just a spell specifically for the cute Poros. But what kind of sucks about Poros is that, firstly, they aren't all that good. Most of the Poros that exist are a 1/1 drop with some ability, be it quick attack or elusive, and a 1/1 drop is not. that is not a good card in the first place. The thing that really kills the synergy is that all 5 of these cards, these 1/1 Poros, are scattered across different regions. In Constructed, you can only play 2 regions, and if you want to make a Poro deck, then obviously one of those regions has to be Freljord. So you are kind of limited in the amount of synergy you can get. You can't play all the Poro cards in a single deck. And again, they aren't even all that good on their own. So it's a bit of a sad state of affairs for Poros. However, that being said, I think I created a fairly nice Poro deck that might be viable, but we'll have to see. We're going to be testing that out today. That is exactly what we're looking at, a Demacia Freljord Poro deck. I'm going to be seeing if we can make this work first in a normal game, but then we're going to try and bring this into ranked and see if we can get a win with it in Diamond. So this is the deck list right here, and it's a pretty odd deck. Of course, the link to the deck list as well as the Mobalytics page for it is in the description down below. Essentially, it is a Poro deck, so you see all the Poro cards that exist, for Freljord at least. You take the Lonely Poro, you take Braum, you take Mighty Poro, you take the Poro Herder, you of course have to take Poro Snacks, and then you also take Heart of the Fluffed. But beyond that, you have a couple of interesting synergies that I think might actually work out very well with Poros. Firstly, you have a number of different buffing cards, namely Omen Hawk, who gives the top 2 allies in deck 1/1, as well as Evorzean Hearthguard, who gives all allies in deck 1/1. These are kind of important cards to take, in my opinion, because I think that, Poros are not good on their own. A lot of Poros, just the 1/1 Poros with an ability, having a 1/1 with an ability is not a good card. That is a sad state of affairs and something that's very, very, it just, you can't play Poros without getting some sort of buff. So we're going to try and use the, all the really strong buffing cards in Freljord here. And then we're also we're going to be taking Demacia in the secondary region because I think Plucky Poro might be the best non-Freljord Poro. That toughness, when you take Plucky Poro and it gets buffed up to a point where it's a 3/3 or a 3/4, or a 3/3 or 4/4, that toughness is really, really something tough to deal with, no pun intended. There is, of course, the Shadow Isles Poro, which that's a pretty solid Poro as well. Having Fearsome, where a 3 power unit has to be the thing that attacks it. It can't just be a 1/1 trading into it. That can be very beneficial as well. But I think at the end of the day, the toughness is going to be more useful when we're focusing on buffing all of our Poros so many times. On top of that, we're also kind of able to continue with the buffing theme by taking various other Demacia cards, such as Stand Alone, where if we have exactly 1 ally, it will get +3/+3. There's also Back to Back, which can help out in saving Poros and whatnot when someone's trying to trade into them. And I also threw Judgment in here because it might help. I don't know. Judgment's a pretty good card. It might help. But we're going to see if we can make this work. As I said, we'll try firstly in a normal game. But if we can get a win with this in a normal, then we're going to try and bring it into ranked. So let's go ahead and jump into the first game. All right, so it looks like we're up against a Braum, Tryndamere, Freljord, Shadow Isles. I'm not too sure if that's mid-range or if that's like a rush deck. I assume it's mid-range with Braum and Tryndamere. So let's go ahead and do our mulligan. It's a little bit ironic, but when you're doing this mulligan, you actually don't want to do... You don't want to be getting early Poros. What you want to be getting is like Braum and Stand Alone, or Evorzean Hearthguards and Omen Hawks. And the reason for that is because, you know, you want your opponent to be using removal spells, to be using frostbite spells, to be using whatever it is that they may have to deal with your units. You want them to be wasting that on the Braums, on the Evorzean Hearthguards, and then using a big crazy Poro in the late game. If we could draw Braum too. Braum and Stand Alone is such a great combo. We cannot get the draw here. We'll just pass because I can't play anything anyway. And he goes a second Omen Hawk. Interesting. He is getting perfect draw. Always hate to see that. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, God, I don't know what to do here. I think I'm just going to Poro Snacks. If I could get an Avalanche on both of his Omen Hawks, and then if he, you know, drops another thing with 2 health. Avalanche is here in this deck for the sake of, like, if you go up against, you know, if I'm going up against a Rush Elise deck that has the 2/2 that summons a 1/1 spider, or whatever, like there's a lot of annoying stuff like that you have to deal with. And so that's what you take the Avalanche for. You've got to be kidding me. All right, all right. At least he used that before I used the standalone on it. That's annoying, though. So what's he going to do now? I'm really curious what his deck is. This is a normal, so I assume this is like this isn't some crazy obvious meta thing, but it's just this guy created his own deck that he's playing with.
Our strength is yours.
All I've seen are Omen Hawks and spells. So here we get the Evorzean Hearthguard out. You want to keep the Evorzean Hearthguard. You know, normally this is the kind of card that you want to mulligan away in most circumstances, but you want to keep him in this deck because getting the +1/+1 on all your Poros while they're still in your deck, that is a very, very beneficial thing. You know, that's a really good setup for you. If we can get a second one. Perfect.
The War Mother will unite us all.
Now, what is he going to do? Babbling Bjerg. Neat. 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 So we can do that trade. He probably drew Tryndamere, I bet. Summon a unit with +5 power. Or draw a unit with +5 power. Oh, what's that? No, that's not good. Frostbite is the most annoying spell in this game. I swear. Or just the most annoying mechanic, I guess. It's not really a spell. So we'll end the round. Speaking of Frostbite. All right. So, right here.
You gotta believe me.
Let's see what he does.
Winter take you.
God dang it.
Out there.
We can clear. We can do this and clear.
This is our homeland.
I really like back-to-back. It's a, you know, it feels so much worse compared to something like Standalone. Just because this is a permanent +3/+3 bonus and back-to-back is only for this round. But it can really help you. It can set up some really nice trades for you. That's all? Does he have another? that's not what I wanted. I specifically didn't want that because I wanted to keep the Poro alive so I could do the Poro Herder. It's annoying that we're dealing with this, but at the same time, he only does have 4 cards in his hand right now. And we have some draw that's about to happen. Or we might not even need the draw. Okay, so here we go. We'll do Lonely Poro. Comboed with Poro Herder. Oh, we should have done the standalone first because we're never going to use this now. But I want to get all these Poros out and attacking. Okay, and then here, I'm just going to do Plucky Poro, and I'm going to do the Plucky Poro I created. Actually, no. Actually, yes. Yeah, we're going to do the Plucky Poro we created. And then attack. He has 8 mana, and he's not doing anything. I don't know what he's... What are you doing, dude? What spell is that? Okay, that doesn't do anything. See, and that's another reason I like the Plucky Poro. The fact that no, like, 1 damage thing can kill him the way that 1 damage things will kill everything else. So here we go. Here is when things get serious. So that's annoying, but it's not really a big deal. Yeah, that's not really a big deal at all. Because we can do this. We're going to do a Mighty Poro and then Heart of the Fluffed. It's kind of important. If you are running this deck, if you want to know the perfect Poro combo, what you want to do... That's annoying, but doesn't matter. What you want to do is make sure you get Overwhelm and Toughness both on your Heart of the Fluffed. Because you don't want your opponent to, like, you know, use a 1/1 Spiderling to be blocking your 18-7 or 18-17. Or you don't want him able to do that. You want the Overwhelm that's still going to deal the 16 damage or 17 or 18 damage, whatever it is, to Nexus. And here we go. So how is this going to work? What's he going to do? That's still going to deal 12 direct damage to Nexus. Okay, if he frostbites him, I'm going to frostbite him. That's something that kind of is frustrating. There's a few different things that can be used to sort of counter this Poro deck. One of them is frostbite. It feels like if you are specifically trying to beat all the Poro decks that you see, you gotta play frostbite because it just works so well. He is playing Shadow Isles, so I'm gonna not play anything else here because I'm kind of worried about him throwing out the kill all units spell. 9 mana kill all units. So I want to keep these guys in hand. What do you got, dude? What do you got? You have 2 cards in your hand and 6 mana. Are you gonna play something now? His Eladaros is scary because I kind of have to kill it, you know? I was gonna let him keep on using his thing. Ooh, maybe not anymore. We can use the Omen Hawk to block it 1 turn. Oh, and he surrenders! Oh, come on, you didn't even let me hit him with the 18 damage Poro. All right, well, whatever. That was a weird game. I don't even know what to make of that game. Let's play another one. Quick update. I just played 2 solo queue games or 2 ranked games trying to see if I could make this work. And it was so abysmal in both of them that I don't even want to show the gameplay footage. So I went back and tried to edit the deck a little bit. I changed some of the cards. I removed the frostbites and then added a few things that I think might help us survive and just deal with stuff a little bit better when our opponents are being super aggro. Specifically, I added On Guard, which gives allies Challenger this round. I'm thinking that could be a good way for us to deal with elusives because there's a very annoying elusive deck that everybody's running right now. On top of that, I threw 1 Purify in here as well as I think maybe another thing or 2, maybe another Avalanche. I'm not entirely sure what the best way is to play a Poro deck, but what I feel like I'm learning is that you have to be playing stuff that can deal with all the different meta decks on ladder. So, you know, adjusting your spells, and if you know you're going to be playing against elusives, making sure you have something that gives your allies challenger, or if you know you're going to be playing against control, being able to have the more, you know, late game oriented spells and whatnot. Making those adjustments, I think, is pretty important. So let's see if we can improve with this new iteration. And we are playing against a control deck. Interesting. All right, that doesn't feel super good because I specifically just tried to add some stuff like Challenger for dealing with the not... What do we want to go? Do we... We could try this. You know, I really... No, I'm not going to. I'm thinking this could be a really good hand to try. I would recommend trying this if you want to try it yourself. Because this could be like, okay, we get a lonely Poro out. We get the Poro Herder to draw 2 more. We use the Poro Snacks to buff all of them. But I don't think that's what we want. Let's keep the Poro Herder. Yeah, I think it's much more important to get the early Brahms. The early Brahms, the early other guys. I can't help but feel like that's more important. All right, but here we go. Typical control early game passes. Ooh, that's interesting. We can't use this on Ezreal because it's a follower that it silences, but that could be useful depending on what he draws and what he plays. He's only running Ezreal, right? Yeah. Ezreal, no Heimer. Let's put out the Braum. All right. Fair enough. Put out a second Braum. It's a little unfortunate that we're drawing our Heart of the Fluffs and not... and not anything else. All right, here we go. This is the setup that I think we need, especially in a late game match, or a match that's going to be going into the late game.
Many tribes under one banner.
Going and getting the early Hearthguards out, so all of the Poros can get buffed, except for 2 Heart of the Fluffs. All right, we'll end the turn. There we go. And then this is nice. So we'll do him. And then we'll do the Herder. We'll do Herder next turn, obviously. What does he have? He has something. He probably has a Mystic Shot to kill the Braum. But that's the least of my worries right now. If I can get him low, that might help us a lot. You know, if we could get him down to 10 health, then we don't have to get as crazy of a Heart of the Fluffed. Yeah, we can't do anything to save him. Unfortunate that we don't have the... All right. Again, unfortunate. That's a word that you use a lot when you play against an Ezreal deck, is unfortunate. Okay, that's unfortunate. Well, that was unfortunate. We have a bit of an unlucky mana curve, 1 mana off from our Poro Herder. But this is the guy that stays alive, which is kind of important. Here we will do the Herder and then start throwing out some more Poros. He can attack face. He is not attack face yet. I don't care.
Follow along, little ones.
So both Poros are going to have 1 buff. Oh, is he running an Elnuk deck? I thought it was a standard Ezreal control. Maybe not. Let's throw both of these out. Now, I would like to use back-to-back and then Heart of the Fluffed, but that might not be possible. We'll have what? 8 plus 3. We're 1 off.
Fresh tracks.
No! Damn it. See, and that's the problem with Poros, is that it's something that's just really difficult to make work because there are so many things in this game that can deal 1 damage. And the fact that Poros only have 1 health is so bad. I mean, that's the worst. Do we do it now? We have the toughness. We have the... Let's do it. I don't know what he has, but there's a good chance he can deal with this. But it is a 12-11. That can go and hit face. I mean, this can't be easy to deal with. It can't be like, oh, he just created a 12-11. That's no big deal for me. That's fine. Okay, that's not as fine. That's annoying, but not the end of the world. It's only 3 damage that it takes, and it damages it, so we can now use Take Heart on it. I won't use Take Heart yet, though. I could maybe set up for a Take Heart back-to-back lethal or something. How many cards do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh.
Where did that one run off to?
Okay. We have a kind of nice thing going for us here, you know? Oh, if only we had Judgment. He put Ezreal out.
You've gone and spoiled them.
Yeah, do we just do this? I think this is what we do. Fair enough. Gets the Ezreal. But right now, we are very close to
Would you believe he won't fit?
winning? Can we win? Is he going face? He can't win this turn. If I use this Heart of the Fluffed, it's going to combine with this Heart of the Fluffed. And I don't think I want that.
Not and ready.
May as well play him.
Oh, I missed you.
Okay, this is it. We have to win this turn. We have to win this turn. I think the way I'm going to do it is this.
Where'd they go?
Attack like this with him pulling that, because I want to be buffing these overwhelms and winning this turn. He needs something. If he doesn't have it, we win. Oh, or he could be going and trying to win before we win. That's not enough.
I'll protect
That doesn't do anything. He's only... Oh my goodness, we did it. We won a game with Poros in ranked. Oh, that feels so good. That was tough. That was tough. I know that you guys didn't see the losses because I got really frustrated from them and didn't... I stopped the recording. This is an interesting deck, though, and I would recommend that if you're interested in, again, doing something like the Crimson deck, if you want to be more off-meta and not just doing the... boring kind of control style thing that everybody's doing at the moment. This is a really fun kind of combo deck, where it has some interesting hiccups with it that you will have to play around and be wary of, whether that be getting early mulligans that synergize with everything, whether you get the Poro synergy or you get the buffing synergy or you get whatever it is. It's kind of tough to have everything work out in the same way because it's essentially like two different style decks that are mishmashed together in a hybrid deck. But hey, it's Poros, so it's worth trying out. Anyway, though, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's video. I will see you all in tomorrow's, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in Ranked, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.